What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Motorman Dan. Today we're going to be talking about the Ripsaw. Damages enemies up and down the length of the trap, deals physical damage. You got to kill 50 enemies to unlock the unique upgrades to either do ice damage or reduce cooldown. The level upgrades is to increase your damage. For the upgrades, I typically run ice because frozen enemies take bonus damage from ice, and therefore you're increasing the damage that it can do on one single trigger by 30%. So it actually it shoots down once and then it goes back, right? So you'll have two blades, one on each side of the Ripsaw, and they'll go to the opposite side and the opposite side again. Now the first time they do damage and freeze, the second time they do damage and freeze again, but because they're frozen already, they do bonus 30% damage the second time. So you get a lot of use out of the deals ice damage. But you could argue reduce cooldown, other than the fact that there are heavy enemies that have a physical damage reduction, as well as very heavy enemies that have a physical damage reduction. Very heavy enemies can also be very tanky, and there are enemies that are tanky that are weak to ice. So I think it's just safer overall to go for ice damage. But I could see an argument for the reduced cooldown. When we look at the game files, we'll see how much it actually reduces it by. That being said, let's just jump into the game files. So, first things first, Ripsaw, 55 damage. That's all there is on that. We go to the Trap Protos here. We can see that the trigger delay is 0.75. The reset delay cooldown is 10 seconds. Coin value is 750. That's really all there is to it. It's a really simple trap as far as what it does. So let's look at the upgrades. Okay, so the trap Ripsaw does 55 damage base, and then these increase it by 10, 10 again, and another 10, so it's going to take you up to 85 damage. Then you have deals ice damage, which is going to change the primary to Frost Grenade Freeze and Ice, as you can see here. And in the Frost Grenade Freeze, it's going to be 3 seconds. They're going to take an additional 30% damage from ice and physical. The other one is to reduce the cooldown by 2.5 seconds, taking the 10 seconds down to 7.5. Which is a significant jump. That's a 25% jump. But I think 30% more damage is better than 25% less cooldown. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me, do you run it? Do you use, which one of those do you use? The reduced cooldown or the deals ice damage? Let's jump into a game and look at some interesting setups to use it on. And we're going to take a look at, because it's kind of an awkward trap, to be honest, you know? It's long, and you put it here and enemies will run on top of it, they'll trigger it, but because it has a slight delay, it's not going to go right away, and they might walk over it or whatever. So it's a little bit weird. Typically, you want enemies to walk straight down it instead of walk across it. So if you've got some sort of a kill box, and there are places where you can like push it through the wall because the wall isn't it's a false wall. So for example, instead of sticking them like that, what I would do is I would rotate them like so. But if you want to pair that with tar or flip or anything, you can definitely do that. So let's say we've got barricades. One of the things you can do, and I'd recommend, is alternating them or sending them off center from each other. And then if you have like tar, for example, here we go. You throw a tar here. Okay. And then you might do another one of these, and you'd put a tar here, for example. So as enemies are walking across it, assuming that this is blocked off so they can't go, farther right, and you have barricades kind of forcing them into this little area. Like a barricade here, and then a barricade there, just to force them into this square. So some of the enemies, a lot of them will actually straddle both things, and they'll only get hit by one blade, but if they're in the middle, of course, they're going to get hit by both. But then they're going to walk onto the tar, and then they're going to get slowed down and get hit by this blade as well. One of the YouTubers and members of the community for Orcs, you may know him very well as Behemoth. He loves to use the ripsaws. So if you're looking for somebody that knows more about them than I do, absolutely, Behemoth is your go-to guy. He's put plenty of stuff in the Discord, and he's got plenty of YouTube video stuff about it as well. And I just now realized that the tar animation was actually the viscous tar animation is like on top of the regular tar. That's weird. But yeah, so definitely check him out. I'll have a link in his channel for his channel in the description because he just uses a ripsaw so much. I definitely sleep on it a bit. I do know it's really good. It has a huge damage output. The cooldown 10 seconds is not that bad, especially when you have it, you know, a 20% reduction with the trap reset trinket, taking it down to 8 seconds. I mean, it's good, man. It does a lot of damage. Freezing is nice, you know, keeping enemies still. One of its somewhat weaknesses, if you put it long ways, Kobold runners really aren't going to be that problematic. But they're definitely going to waste the trigger because they only have 5 health and these do 85 damage. So 85 damage and it's ice. So yeah, you guys let me know. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you use it? Do you not use it? Why not? And if there's any cool floor configurations you found with it, or any like one-off uses, yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comments below. And if you're on our Discord, it's not my Discord, but it's the Orcs Must Die 3 Discord. And if you're on that, you know, definitely post something in the media chat or something with how you use it. All right, guys, that's all we have for the ripsaw today. It's relatively short, but it's a very simple trap. There's really not a lot to it. You know, so yeah, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitch if you want to see Orcs Must Die 3 on Twitch. We stream on Saturdays. And that being said, I will catch you on the flip side. All right, deuces.